Little did we know. Hello and welcome back to my channel. So today I'm doing a story time that I highly recommend you watch if you are planning on going on a workers holiday or going on some sort of party holiday through like a workers agent route. You are going to want to hear this because this was the experience holiday of hell, and you need to be informed before you spend your money, waste your money and be scammed by these companies. Now, I will mention the name of the company in the end of the video, so stay tuned. So, this all occurred when me and my friends decided to book a workers holiday to Aiya Napa. We were like, yeah, this company seems reputable. They had some good reviews online. Now we'll come to the reviews towards the end. And yeah, we thought, what can go wrong? £500 for a month of workers accommodation. They're going to help us find jobs. It's going to be a good once in a lifetime experience. Little did we know. So I have my notes here just so I can go through the story point by point, because you do need to know everything that happened. We got our flight there, me and my two friends got our flight to Aiya Napa, and we stayed in a separate hotel the day before because we wanted to just get there and be ready and not have to worry about it the next day and the travelling. So we paid for a separate hotel the night before, and then we made our way over to the actual hotel, which was Pambos Napa Rocks. When we got there, we knew we had a little bit of time before we were going to be greeted by the reps, so we decided to put our suitcases in the lobby like we were told to do. That's the kind of going thing. You put your suitcase in the lobby, you wait till you check in your room. A couple of hours have passed, we got food, we come back, and we're waiting for the reps to meet us. There were no reps yet. We were all in a group chat, so everyone who was coming to Aiya Napa at the same time as us, we're all in a group chat, so we all knew each other with the reps. And the reps were just like, oh, okay, yeah, we're coming, like we'll be there soon. An hour had gone past the time they were meant to meet us, so I'm pretty sure they were meant to meet us around 3 o'clock, and they still hadn't met us around 4, or maybe it was the after, I can't remember. So they were 2 hours late meeting us. We were like, okay, I mean, they're 2 young girls. I mean, something could have gone on. Everyone else had finally arrived, and the 2 female reps sat us down to have a little meeting to greet us in. We were sat down with the other people that we'd previously spoken to in the group chat, and the 2 girls, the 2 reps, said to us, hi, welcome to Aiya Napa. We're the reps for the company. We'll be here to help you the whole month and help you find your jobs, help you with any problems that you may have, which was a lot of problems. We were made to pay a €50 rep fee. That was explained on the website, so we were expecting that. We were made to pay a €50 rep fee, then a €50 room deposit, which we knew we would have to pay. That's standard across most hotels. You pay a room deposit in case anything was broken, especially on a type of party holiday like this. And then an €80 fee for the wristband and the party package. Now on their website, it says that this wristband and this party package is included in the £500 that you've originally paid over the coming months before you arrive in Aiya Napa. We had to pay for this workers wristband and the party events week. Otherwise, we weren't allowed the workers wristband, and we weren't allowed to take part in any events unless we went on our own way and did it. So as you can imagine, a lot of us were very confused, very agitated as to why we weren't told this before. And they were just like, oh, well, it is going to be a good week anyway, so just pay it and you're going to have fun. Luckily, we had the funds to pay it, so we ended up paying it. In regards to the rep fee, you are meant to get your money back if there is no damage to your room. Now, it says on their website that The rep fee is held by the reps, by this particular company, the agency we booked through, in case there's any damage. We had to give the rep fee to the hotel over the reception, and in order to even stay in the hotel, we also had to give them our passport, and apparently they had to look after our passport. We weren't allowed to keep hold of our own passports. We were told you're only allowed to stay in the hotel if you pay the €50 rep fee, which is fine, and if they keep your passport. So we were made, as younger girls, and a lot of naive, I'm not saying that anyone there was naive, but we were made to hand over our passports and the hotel had to look after them. We were not allowed our own passports. Now, can you see where things are going downhill here? On top of that, we obviously had to show proof of travel insurance, which is understandable due to the nature of the job that we were doing. So on their website, they claim, so we're moving on to the juicy part of the story. Please stay tuned because you are not going to believe that when I insert these clips. Okay, so they have now edited their website and taken down pictures of the type of accommodation you're meant to be staying in, but no way on planet Earth would you be expected to go through what me and maybe hundreds of other people did. So after the meeting, we were led down to our accommodation. Now I am saying down. We were led down to our accommodation. Now, we were under the impression that we were getting a room with a balcony within the hotel, within Pambos Napa Rocks. We thought we were getting a room within Pambos Napa Rocks, a room with a balcony, decent room, not a 5-star resort or anything like that, just a decent room with beds, you know? That's what it said. We were going to get a room with a kitchenette and beds and a little bathroom, ensuite bathroom. Anyway, so we take our suitcases and we're being led around the pool and we're like, oh, okay, like we're no longer in the hotel anymore. And we're walking and we are taken down to a basement. Now, if you do not believe me, obviously the clips are going to be here. I have a lot of evidence. We were taken down to a basement and we were led to our room. So it was a basement where there was a tiny kitchen at the front, and we were told there was 100 people in this basement within a couple of rooms in the 35-degree heat where there was no air conditioning, no balcony, and communal showers and toilets. We're like, okay, maybe this isn't what you're expecting, but we can make it work. So me and my two friends were led to our room where the door was broken, the lock was broken, and we were told we had to share one key between the 5 girls in the room. Wait, how many girls were there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I think there was 7 girls in my room. One key between 7 girls, and the other girls we hadn't met yet. We were going to meet when they arrived on their flight. They were coming a lot later. So the reps told us, oh, yeah, keep on the down low, but you're going to have to use your own money and get some keys cut so you can enter and get in the room as you please. But even if we had got the keys cut, the lock was broken, the door handle was broken because certain people were charging into the door, like, I kid you not, charging into the door and knocking it down anytime they wanted to just break into someone's room and take their stuff. So my part of the room with my 2 friends had a very funny smell, and I was wondering, what is this smell? There was a bunk bed and a single bed. And I kid you not, like, there are box rooms, but it was the smallest box room you can ever imagine. I will insert a picture. And the smell was the mold growing up the walls. And I was wondering to myself, why is there mold, black mold, I will insert pictures, growing up the wall? I will come to that in a second. So my part of the room also had no plug sockets, The bunk beds had just been assembled incorrectly and there was no air conditioning in our room. Now it says here in the review that I put, air conditioning, you had to pay €120 for the whole month for air conditioning. Bearing in mind we were put in a basement, so the other part of the room that we could not even feel the air conditioning for, you'd have to pay €120 for it if you wanted air conditioning. Do you see where I'm coming from? We understand there can be fees for air conditioning, but I could not even access air conditioning in my part of the room. Now, the black mould. So the black mould growing up the walls was from sewage. Now, one of the nights we had come back, so we decided to stay there for 2 or 3 nights before we were just like, this is enough, was sewage. The basement was flooding with sewage. So we came back from a night out and the basement was flooding with sewage because apparently you're not allowed to flush toilet roll down the toilet and flush it, which caused the basement to flood with sewage. There are clips I'll insert of us filming us walking through sewage water in the flooded basement, and apparently before we got there we were not told that the basement had a really bad sewage flood and had flooded maybe up to calf height in our room. So that's what the black mould along the wall rim was from. It was from sewage that had flooded our room. So obviously, as you can imagine, in these conditions, we were not satisfied and we wanted to know why everything on their website has been a lie. So we had tried calling up the company, messaged some people you were meant to message, with very little to no regard to our safety or response. We'd come back from nights out, and because we weren't even in the hotel, it was just a walkway you could go down to. There were random people in the basement, random men in the basement. Not saying that that's a problem, but as a girl, that is a problem. As you can imagine, there were some events that did occur while I was there that made it a problem. We would come back from nights out and the previous people who had had our room still lived in the basement and they had to cut a key, and the times they did not want to break our door down, they would just use their key and open it, and we would find our stuff had been rummaged through. In addition to the basement being as bad as I am telling you about, the fire exit was chained up. I will insert a picture. The only fire exit for the whole basement, where over 100 people were staying, was chained up. Just let that sink in. Bearing in mind the kitchen was by the entrance and that was the only exit out of the basement. Now, my room also had no window in it, so couldn't even escape through the window if I wanted to. And out of the 100 people in the basement, 2 of the communal showers worked. So all of this led us to leave, and we used our own money to source some other accommodation before we ended up just going home. We did try and get a refund, where I think out of the £500, I think I got £120. We were only allowed a partial refund because apparently if we were that unhappy about it, we should have said earlier and not waited 3 days. And the €50 rep fee, that's it. Because we got the €50 rep fee back, we also weren't allowed a full refund out of the £500. In regards to the room deposits, there was no damage to our room that we had caused, but anyone who asked for their room deposit back, even if they hadn't caused damage to their room and were leaving, they were not allowed the room deposit back because according to the hotel, it was theirs. So we had to go back to the hotel once we had stayed somewhere else for a little while to get our passports back. We also weren't allowed those back when we requested them. So as far as I'm concerned, the company is full of lies, and on their website it is full of lies. I mean, other than the accommodation, the situation I was put in, Aiya Napa is an amazing place and you should experience it. They claim that they will assist you to find work. I found my own job without any help by the reps or the company. Now, I have seen that they have changed a lot of their websites, so they've taken off the accommodation you're supposedly meant to be staying in, and I'm guessing that's because of all the backlash they had when we left, because there were some people who had higher up people who took this a little bit further. It is sad about the amount of money that I did waste going there. But yes, this particular company, Summer Takeover, you should be very careful booking through them. I left an honest review of the experience I went through on Trustpilot and a lot of other places, and they proceeded to report my reviews. Obviously, I have proof that I use them as a company, so my reviews are still up there, and now you can see a lot of honest reviews on places like Trustpilot. And the only reason why they do have a lot of good reviews left over is because we were told you get paid for leaving a good review. Do you see where the problem is coming from now? So if you are going to proceed and go and book through this company, please make sure you look through reviews. Personally, and giving my honest experience with this company, I would not book through them. There are some other companies, but if you are going to work abroad, make sure you do your research. If you do have any more questions about anything that happened on that trip, let me know, and I'll probably leave the link in the description below of one of the reviews that I have left, so you can read through it in more detail. So thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed that story time. Please be careful if you're going to book through companies like this, because they do take advantage of you being young, and they do use that to their advantage to scam you out of your money, because it was a complete scam. I will leave one of the stories that I wrote about it, the link in the description, so you can read it. And I hope you enjoyed this video. Feel free to subscribe, give the video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it, and I hope to see you guys again soon.